Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the 9 p.m. news broadcast of the most prestigious channel in Sri Lanka. Bringing you your top stories for tonight, I am Lakshita Dirisingha.
A very good evening indeed, I am Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines. Supreme Court bill presented to the Parliament. Seat belts for bus drivers from tomorrow. Pledge loan scheme up to 50 million rupees to purchase paddy in the Yalla season. Indictment to former Minister Lakshman Yapa. A case filed against Arjun Aloysius too. 74th Higher Ordination Ceremony of Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya held under the leadership of the President. Further operations on now to locate missing fishermen. Dengue Control Week underway. A strong attack on Ukraine by Russia.
On to those and other stories in detail. We start off with the top story for tonight. Deputy Speaker Rizvi Sali told the Parliament today that the Supreme Court has informed the fact that several clauses of the electricity draft bill should be amended.
The Supreme Court has taken this decision considering several petitions filed against this draft bill. According to the Supreme Court, some clauses of this bill does not comply with the Constitution. Meanwhile, the adjourning debate of Revenue Strategy Statement was held in Parliament today. Government parliamentarian Kaushalya Aryaratna stated that the mismanagement of public funds by short-sighted and corrupt rulers had led to national bankruptcy in many South Asian and developing countries. She observed that the public often remained silent without questioning these issues. She emphasized the urgent need for a parliamentary and state governance system where decision makers are held accountable. She appealed to all members to support the proposal introduced in Parliament aimed at establishing a financially disciplined and transparent government.
Minister Dr. Rupavahini acknowledged that reducing the country's debt burden was not an easy target. However, he pointed out that the current financial statement sets a goal to bring the debt to GDP ratio down to 85%. He stressed that safeguarding public finances and managing expenditure effectively were critical factors in achieving debt sustainability. Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa remarked that those who once came into power by rejecting the International Monetary Fund and its policies were now implementing those very same IMF policies. Deputy Minister Ranga Gunasekara questioned the consistency of the opposition, stating that those criticizing the government today had only a year ago claimed that foreign investors would not come and that international relations were deteriorating. Parliamentarian Kayantha Karunatilaka commented that both the President and the government were compelled to move forward with great difficulty. He asserted that there was no alternative but to proceed through the challenging economic trajectory. Minister Sunil Handuneti stated that a vehicle cannot function with just a steering wheel and emphasized that the current administration is operating as a well-functioning full vehicle. He highlighted that provincial council leaders had now joined the government, contributing positively to the system. Handuneti said that the government was aware of its direction and had a plan that extended until 2026. The minister reiterated that government's transparency in stating what it could and could not do and emphasized the policies that are currently in place were not dictated by the IMF alone. Parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake said that the Sri Lankan Airlines was burdened with losses amounting to 20 billion rupees and the opposition had already stated that the government could not revive the airline.
Chairman of the National Transport Commission, Engineer P.A. Chandrapala, says that all bus drivers should compulsorily wear seat belts with effect from tomorrow. He made these remarks addressing the media today. Chairman of the NTC, Engineer P.A. Chandrapala, said that the traffic police will take legal actions against the drivers who do not heed the call. It is drivers' duty to positively respond to this request. The chairman requests the drivers to follow the rule without having unnecessary problems.
A pledge loan scheme Odapana has been introduced under concessionary interest rates to purchase paddy harvest in the Yalla season. This will be effect from tomorrow for the small scale and medium scale paddy mill owners and cooperative societies. This loan will be issued to mill owners whose daily threshing capacity is under 25 metric tons. To qualify for the loan scheme, there should be a business registration certificate issued by the relevant state institution and a license from the Paddy Marketing Board. A loan amounting to 50 million rupees will be given under 7% annual interest. The loan should be paid back within 180 days. The Agriculture Department has introduced this pledge loan scheme to ensure the farmers getting a reasonable price for their harvest.
Indictments have been filed against former Minister Lakshmanyapa Abewardhana and the former Director General of the Investment Board Jayanta Edirsinghe at the Colombo High Court. They have been alleged of causing a loss of more than 1.7 million rupees to the government through advertising published in newspapers using the funds of Sri Lanka Investment Board on the occasion of the function of the second presidential term of the then President Mahinda Rajapaksa in 2014. Lakshmanyapa Abewardhana has been the Minister of Investment Promotion at that time. The indictment papers filed by the Bribery Commission were handed over to the defendants in the presence of Colombo High Court Judge Pradeep Jayaratna. Later, the defendants were ordered to be released on bail. The complete hearing of the case will be held on the 20th of August. The Colombo High Court today ordered to call for hearing on the 14th of July the petition filed requesting the release of former Minister Duminda Dissanayake on bail. Duminda Dissanayake was taken into custody on suspicion relating to an incident of possessing a gold-plated firearm and was imprisoned in accordance with an order of the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court. A three-judge bench of judges of the Colombo High Court ordered today to call for hearing on the 8th of July the case against former IGP Pujit Jayasundara and former Defence Secretary Hemisiri Fernando. They have been alleged of criminal negligence of duty by not taking steps to prevent the Easter Sunday terrorist attack despite having intelligence information in that respect. The Colombo Magistrates Court has ordered to call for hearing on the 8th of December a case against former parliamentarian including 15 other suspects. The complaint has been made by the police for causing inconvenience to the public by holding a street drama blocking the roads around Independence Square in Colombo in 2023. A case has been filed by the Inland Revenue Department against directors of Mendes Company Arjuna Lysis and Anthony Randev Jinendra John regarding failing to pay VAT to be levied by the government. The case was filed today in the presence of Colombo Additional Magistrate Pavitra Sanjeevani Patiraja. The Inland Revenue Department informed the court that the respondents failed to pay VAT amounting to millions of rupees of the years 2019 and 2020. Accordingly, summons have been issued against the respondents, ordering them to appear before the court on the 13th of October. The Colombo Magistrates Court had ordered jail terms of 6 months each to Arjuna Lysis and the other respondent regarding failing to pay VAT.
President Anurukumar Dissanayake says that a society which practiced listening to Dhamma sermons for a long time has crashed due to following valueless points as valuable. The President made this observation joining the function of the 74th High Ordination Ceremony of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya today. 152 years have lapsed since the formation of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya. The Buddhist monks of the Nikaya have fulfilled a memorable service to the Buddha Sasana in this country. During the 74th High Ordination Ceremony, 400 Buddhist monks will receive High Ordination, popularly known as Upasampada. The ceremony was held under the patronage of the Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Makulave Vimalathera at Galnava Public Grounds. Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Makulave Vimalathera, said that Ramanya Mahanikaya was initiated in 1863 and Venerable Shastravaliye Upasenathera and Venerable Ulaga Kulane Saranankarathera obtained ordination from this area. The Venerable monks were engaged in an excellent service to propagate the Nikaya. This area can be described as a place which held the propagation of Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya. President Anurukumar Dissanayake emphasized that a disciplined and good society must be built by bringing back the spirit of humanity to a society that has destroyed all good things and added bad values in the face of power and wealth, and that the Mahasangha of this country can make a great contribution to this. The President pointed out that there are many achievements to be gained both physically and spiritually. He said that everyone should understand the fate that has befallen a country that has preached and listened to the Dhamma based on compassion, kindness and non-violence for a long time. Therefore, President Kumar Dissanayake emphasized that everyone should work together tirelessly to fulfill the responsibility of creating a disciplined and good society. He also stated that events such as Upasampada, Vinaya Karma are very important in maintaining the perpetuity and continuity of Buddhism. A book titled Urumayaka Abhimanaya was also presented to the President on this occasion. Venerable Mahasangha ministers Dr. Hiniduma Sunil Senavi, Vasanta Samarasinghe, Vijita Herath and several others also participated in this event.
A special dengue control week is in operation from today until the 5th of July in 111 medical officer of health divisions in 16 high-risk districts. According to the National Dengue Control Unit of the Ministry of Health, the program is being implemented with the participation of health groups, the Triforces, police, voluntary officers and officials of divisional secretariat offices.
This year, 28,228 dengue patients have been reported so far from January until today, with 16 deaths reported. According to the National Dengue Control Unit, most of the patients were from Colombo, Kampa, Ratnapura, Pattikalo, Trincomalee, Kandikal and Matara districts. Media spokesman of the National Dengue Control Unit, Ministry of Health Community Consultant Dr. Prashila Samaravira said that both dengue and chikungunya diseases are present in the island at the moment, which is being spread by the same mosquito. The flight distance of the mosquito ranges between 200 to 500 meters, and the infection of this disease happens when the mosquito is around the premises. Within that range, the general public is requested to keep their backyards and surroundings clean. At least 30 minutes has to be dedicated for this purpose once a week, since one day's cleanliness does not provide any solution. Special programs are being implemented in Colombo also parallel to the Dengue Control Week. Inspection of mosquito breeding places around buildings in the Cinnamon Gardens Division Vijay Ramamavata, Colombo commenced today as a part of the Dengue Control Week. Social media has a great impact on a large number of persons at present all over the world. Especially within the younger generation, it is difficult to find a person who is not connected with social media. The use of social media to us and its effect on the society has to be taken into consideration. This will be taken care of today on the Social Media Day. Social media has become one of the favorite items of everyone today in a mega turnaround that happened all over the world. Social media software such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, undergoing gradual improvements through the computer and the smartphone, has been able to gather the entire world to a single spot in a second today. Social media has become an instrument capable of building a strong viewpoint among the public through digital methods. At present, through entertainment, knowledge, conducting a global dialogue and a social transformation. By today, about 5.31 billion users of social media are present around the world. This number is approximately 65% of the global population. This figure is speedily increasing every year. Out of internet users in the world, approximately 95% are social media users. Nearly 53% of the population in this country use social media, and according to analysts, this figure is around 12 million. Senior lecturer of the Sinhala and Mass Communication Department of the Sri Jayawardhanapura University, Imesha Dharmasena, said that although everyone uses social media through an internet package, they are unaware as to whether the usage of the same is done properly or not. There is also a problem regarding the awareness among those who use social media, she pointed out. If persons do not use social media without any knowledge, it will become inimical to a country and a personal crime from the angle of the user. Professor of the Social Media Department of the Sri Lanka Open University, Rupavahini Hewage, pointed out that it is difficult to regulate social media compared to other mainstream media. There is a possibility to use social media positively for personal use when Sri Lankan citizens gain digital literacy, media literacy as a society, the professor elaborated. Senior researcher of the Centre for Policy Alternatives, Sampath Samarakon, stressed that although social media is an advanced platform, the complexity is also wide in social media. There is a problem regarding to what extent a social media user has to be aware of it. Certain circles in the government are holding discussions how to face the challenges in social media. An excellent use of social media can be gained anywhere in the world by social media groups in case they follow a course of responsibility and accountability through projecting information to the viewers via extremely accurate news items. With that, we move into a short break. Stay tuned for more stories from home.
Stella, අපි හැමෝම කැමති. ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුමි ෆන් තමයි. නිවැරදි දේ තෝරන්න, රසකුරේ කරගන්න. මේ හැම දේතන අපි කැමතිම දේ ප්‍රීමා ස්ටෙලා. ප්‍රීමා ස්ටෙලා, අපි හැමෝම කැමති.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
And in more stories from home, several senior police officers have been transferred and assigned to new positions under the approval of the National Police Commission. There are 9 senior officers, among them accordingly Director of the Police Cadet Division SSP C. Gunaratna has been appointed as the Director of the Sri Lanka Police Training College while covering the duties of Director Police Cadet Division. SSP BAE Prasanna of Mount Lavinia Division has been transferred to Officer in charge of the Kabithigol Lava Division. Director of the Child and Women Abuse Preventing Investigation Bureau SSP AJ Gunasekara has been transferred to Mount Lavinia Division. Director of the Criminal Investigation Division Women SSP HWIS Muthumala has been appointed as the Director of the Child and Women Abuse Preventing and Investigation Bureau. SP GVAKC Aryavans of Gampala Police Division has been appointed as the Director of the Central Province Investigation Bureau. SSP LHN De Silva transferred from the position of SSP in charge of the Polonnaru Division to the position of the SSP in charge of the Panadura Division. SSP CK Ratnayaka transferred from the position of the SSP in charge of the Panadura Division to the position of the SSP in charge of the Sitavakapura Division. SSP KB Buddhika Manatunga transferred from the position of Director and Spokesman of the Police Media Division to the position of SSP in charge of the Polonnaru Division. ASP FUK Wootler of the Police Media Division has been appointed as the Director of the Police Media Spokesman. In addition, 5 officer in charges have also been transferred and appointed. Among them are HQI KCP De Silva, EMAIB Ekanaika, IPSK Anurajit, AHGRP Hemachandra and TC Pathun Kumara. The first meeting of the Walapane Pradeshya Sabha was held in the morning today. The chairmanship of the Sabha has gone to the National People's Power. The meeting was held under the leadership of Central Provincial Council Commissioner AMKPK Chamila Tapattu. An open vote was held to elect the new chairman of the Walapane Pradeshya Sabha, which consists of 64 councillor posts. Dhammika Nalindesha Priya of the National People's Power was elected chairman of the council, securing 34 votes. Lakshan Randik of Samagi Janabala Begye could only muster 29 votes. Sunil Kumarasinghe of Podujana Eksat Peramuna has been elected as the vice chairman with 34 votes, while Saman Kumara Desha Priya of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, who contested with him, could secure only 29 votes. One councillor of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna refrained from voting. Samagi Jana Balawegaya secured the power of Matugama Pradeshiya Sabha. In the open vote held today in the morning, Kasun Munisingh of Samagi Jana Balawegaya was elected as chairman. He secured 19 votes, while Lalit Indik of National People's Power could secure only 13 votes. The establishment of the council was conducted under the leadership of Western Provincial Council Commissioner Sarangika Kalhari Jayasundara. A voting was conducted today to elect the chairman of Naguda Pradeshiya Sabha in Gaul. A secret vote was held and Dharmasiri Ganewat of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was elected chairman when he secured 12 votes. Ajit Kotakanda, who contested for the post from National People's Power, received only 10 votes.
Search operations are further underway to find out a missing person from the fishing boat titled Maxim Putar 1, which met with an accident yesterday, and out of the 6 persons who travelled in this boat, 4 persons were rescued by the Navy. 2 persons were reported missing and one of the body was found last evening. Search operations are further underway to find out a missing person from the fishing boat. This boat was capsized when it was knocked on a reef while coming back to land after fishing activities. It left the shore from Paraviadla area last morning. The search operations are still underway to find the missing person, who has been identified as S.H. Chamindaruwan Janaka, a resident of Danketi area in Thangala. Our correspondent said that 3 danger boats left the Orvala beach in Thangala for search mission.
The latest novel written by Nihal C. Jayatunga under the title Aragalaye Aturu Katawak was launched at the Health Ministry recently. The author Nihal C. Jayatunga presented the first copy of the novel to Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. He has attempted to recreate an incident occurred during the past struggle period as an animated story. The author says that this is a fiction compiled on an incident of detaining a doctor and 3 assistants who treated the strugglers for over a period of 6 months under the Anti-Terrorism Act. Nihal C. Jayatunga has also written 37 numerous books, including novels.
We now move on to more local news in brief. In a bus accident which occurred at Kirankulam area in Batticlaw, the driver and 2 assistants of the bus were injured. The bus has veered off the road and knocked against a tree. Retired senior dubbing officer of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Ranjit Ashokadi Silva, passed away today. He joined the SLRC in 1984 and rendered his service to production activities in the dubbing unit. He has worked with Titus Thottawatha as well in the beginning. Remains of Ranjit Ashokadi Silva are now lying at his residence at 157/3 Pokana Junction, Madamulla East. Final rites will be held at the Kiriberia Cemetery tomorrow.
A Bharatanatyam Arangetra Arts Festival was held recently at the Yashodhara Girls' School in Colombo 8. This was held at the Elphinstone Theatre under the title Yasho Prabhatam. 18 students who studied dancing from Visharada Nadika Irabattagoda presented their skills at this festival. It was held with the participation of Principal Niluka Samankumari and Chief Guest Dr. Miranda Hemalata. The annual religious sermon and the International Summit of Sri Lanka Community Bora Spiritual Convention is currently underway in Colombo. It commenced on the 25th of this month and will be concluded on the 2nd of July at the Bora Mosque in Bambalapitiya. Over 9,000 devotees from around the world, including India, Pakistan, England and Canada, have arrived in Colombo for this event. President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake is scheduled to participate in the conclusion ceremony of the Bora Summit on the 2nd of July. A large group of Bora community have arrived in Sri Lanka from Gujarat state of India and Pakistan. It is expected that a huge amount of foreign exchange will flow to the country in enhancing tourism. The government has taken every possible measure for them. Over 100,000 Bora community live in Colombo and a majority of them are traders. That's it on local stories. Stay tuned with us for news overseas coming your way after this short break.
We now move on to news overseas. Ukrainian F-16 fighter jet pilot was killed while defending the country during one of the largest Russian aerial assaults since the war began, officials said Sunday. The fighter jet pilot died when his jet, damaged during the mission, crashed before he could eject. He had successfully shot down 7 Russian air targets before the aircraft went down, according to the Ukrainian Air Force. President Volodymyr Zelensky posthumously awarded the pilot the title of Hero of Ukraine, the nation's highest honor, and called for increased military support from the West, particularly to strengthen Ukraine's air defense systems. The overnight attack involved hundreds of drones, cruise and ballistic missiles striking sites across the country, including Kyiv and Lviv, and injuring at least 12 people, local authorities said. In Kyiv, families took shelter in metro stations as explosions and gunfire echoed across the capital.
And in sports news, India managed to secure the Asian Team Snooker Championship. It was held at the Moore Sports Club in Colombo. The championship was jointly organized by the Asian Snooker Association and the Sri Lanka Billiard and Snooker Association. 14 countries participated in the 7-day championship. The final was played between India and Malaysia, where India won the match 3 rounds to 1. Pankaj Advani, who brought the Billiard and Snooker Championship on many occasions to India, led the Indian team on this occasion. Biresh Adami and Aditya Medha were the other 2 players who represented India. And with that, we wrap up tonight's news bulletin. Do join us tomorrow for more of the very latest. Until then, good night.
Good night.